Richard Earp's here.
I'm in public services. My apologies. Fire.
That's okay.
Jeremy Holderfield.
And building.
John Hanson's here.
All right, we have 4 special events. First one is Cox Media Group Jingle Jam, December 8th, and Lexi is here from Parks and Rec.
All right, so the first event is with Cox Media Group. It's Jingle Jam. They're bringing it back this year. It'll be on a Sunday this year on December 8th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's just a concert, like music festival at the Apopka Amphitheater. They're expecting about 7,000 people. Their setup will include 10 by 10 tents and 20 by 60 tents, food truck vendors, and then production on the stage. There will be private security as well as off-duty. There will be alcohol, and we'll use Gate 5 for overflow parking and the surrounding available paved spaces, since there will be tournaments happening. That one's it for that one.
All right, any questions?
No comment.
Community Development recommends approval. Police.
Yes.
All right, Public Services.
I don't have anything, thanks.
Fire.
Hours wise, is this a typical concert, just like a normal evening concert? Is it all day? Like
It's gonna be more like towards the afternoon to the evening, so it'll be like 12 p.m. or 12 noon to 8 p.m. at night.
All right. Thank you.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right. Next item is the Apopka Altamont Springs VFW Post 1047 Bee Gees Tribute, October 12th.
So the VFW is looking to do a dinner, dancing, and live music, similar to the one they did last month on October 12th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It'll be at the Apopka Community Center. They're expecting about 275 people. They have a minimal setup, but there will be alcohol. They've already submitted their off-duty forms, and they'll be using the building parking and probably 5th Street for overflow.
All right. Community Development has no questions. Police.
No comment.
Public Services.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No comment.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
The next item is the Reyes Fitness Professionals Turkey Trot on November 23rd.
So this is also a returning event at the Northwest Recreation Center. It's a like an organized fitness event. They'll be running around the complex. From the event, it goes from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. They're expecting about 50 people. They have minimal setup. They will be using the crosswalks throughout the park, but they'll have volunteers to help guide the runners. If APD is also needed off duty, we can talk about that as well. But they'll be using most likely Gate 4 for parking as well.
All right. Community Development has no questions. Police.
Nothing.
Public Services.
I have nothing, sounds fun.
Fire.
No comment.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
And the last special event is Strata Entertainment Bikes, Boots, and Soul, December 7th.
So this event will run from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Alonzo Williams Park. It's a festival celebration with about 200 people. They will have tents and food trucks. They are not going to have alcohol, and they're not going to have a private security company, but they are going to have off-duty. And they'll be parking in the paved spaces at the park and on that field across.
All right. Community Development has no questions. Police.
No comment.
Public Services.
No comment.
Fire.
No comment.
Building.
I don't have anything, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The next item is the rezoning of 1770 Sheeler Avenue. Amir Hamza is the project manager.
Good morning, everyone. So this is a rezoning for 1770 Sheeler Avenue. So they're rezoning it from RSF 1B to RTF, and it matches with the existing residential low future land use. And the applicant is in attendance today for any comments or the questions that need to be answered.
If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Name is Josh Enot, South or 200 South Orange Avenue, Orlando, Florida. So with this one, I believe there was one comment sent out on before DRC pertaining to the shooting range right next door
Yes.
from the police department. The comment mentioned having a pond right next to the shooting range to provide a bit more of a buffer. And that was our original intent. But one of the things that we did was go back and look at the engineering, and it's impossible really to put a pond there just because it's the high side of the site and everything slopes down towards that pond on the northeast corner. So what we are proposing is that 5-foot buffer and the 6-foot masonry wall, which is required per code for this development when it's rezoned. And then we also acknowledge the request of putting something in writing on that acknowledgement for the shooting range.
Okay. I have no other comment. No. Right. If that was the only outstanding comment, then we'll go around to the DRC, see if there's anything further. Community development has no other items. Police, anything additional? No other comment. Public services.
I just want to make sure that I understand that you're doing rezoning now, so the configuration of the site is still up for debate and discussion. And yeah, one end of the area near the shooting range may be the highest, and that may make it more difficult to put the pond over there, but it doesn't make it impossible to do that. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about rezoning.
Correct.
So we'll talk about that later. So I don't have anything else. Thanks.
Fire.
No comment.
Building.
I don't have anything, thank you.
All right, thank you. You will get your notifications from your project manager as to when the item will be scheduled for public hearings.
All right, thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a variance for signs at Mullinax Ford. Jean is the project manager.
Good morning. So this is an application for a variance on signage for Molnex Ford. It involves 3 pole signs. Right now they are pylon signs. I think because they are revising or amending the signs more than 50%, this is going to require conversion to a monument sign instead of a pylon. That's one thing. The other issue I have to actually look into is that the Molnex Ford property is in a planned development, and based on my previous review, it looks like the sign standards for this PD is deferred to the land development code. I'll have to double check. I'm not sure if they're eligible for a variance under a PD, since a PD already has opportunities for deviations. And also, I believe they're only per code, they're only permitted to have 2 monument signs because they do have some frontage in the back to a secondary road. And they're requesting for 3, which it's my understanding that the 3 pole signs are existing already, and they are already existing as non-conforming signs, as they're all over 100 square feet in area. So there are a few pieces of this proposal that I'll have to check, probably with code and with legal, to see if they're even permitted to go through with a variance or required to go through a plan development amendment to amend the signage portion and then go before planning commission and city council for the rezoning.
Did they provide any justification?
They did respond to the 9 criteria. There's really no hardship that I can see just from my review. But they did respond to the 9 criteria for the variance. The one thing that is probably good on their end is that the nonconformity is reducing. The size of the signage is reducing. I mean, the number of signs, like number of monument signs that's being proposed, stays the same. But the copy area, it looks like there's a reduction.
Okay. Yeah, if it's a PUD, I mean, they may have to open it up like you're saying and amend it, but something to double check. Doesn't appear that they're here unless they're invisible.
No, the applicant's not here today.
With that, we'll go around. Community development has no
YouTube literally caught you with the jokes.
further comments. Police.
No comment.
Public services.
Nothing, thank you.
Fire.
No comments.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
We gotta have to have some fun sometimes, right? No, nothing gets more fun than a plat, a second submittal of a plat, a mural. Entertain us on that one. So come on up, Amir.
That's hard to follow.
This is a 14 lot subdivision plat that it's on Poncan Road, and they met surveyor and legal comments, but applicant is not in attendance today. But if any other DRC member has any other comments, please let me know.
No comments from community development. Police, no comment. Public services.
I put in a comment this morning. I went through the file names in OpenGov and I put a comment in that said none of those files say anything similar to plat, second submittal. There's several of them, about 7 or 8 maybe, that are just like a number, like someone scanned something and stuck it in there. And I'm not going to go on a goose chase to find their plat. But if they let me know, or you let me know what the PDF name is, then I'll be happy to look at it. It doesn't look like it'll take 5 minutes to look at. I just wasn't going to spend 5 minutes opening and closing PDFs. I don't think I should have to do that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, I can talk to the applicant regarding the file change names, and he could send me the files, or I could change them on his behalf and then send it to you. Yeah. Yep.
Fire.
No comments.
And building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
But yeah, if it's just public services comes, then I could just send it to you, and then this would not have to go to DRC again then, because planning it. Okay, sounds good.
All right, stay there.
I see it.
Parking edition.
So this is a parking addition for Advent Health. It's in the PD of in the industrial park, and they're increasing parking in the building number 1. Some of them are in existing what's it called paved areas, and some of them I think they met the threshold of 20% has to be an existing paved area, and the others are an increase in the areas that are currently grass or dirt. But I had 2 comments. Our applicant mentioned that he could not make it to the meeting, but please let me know if any other DRC members has any other comments.
All right, community development stands by Amir's comments. No
Police.
comment. Public services.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Fire.
No comments.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Any items for discussion?
I do have an interesting one. Zellwood Station. I think if we all drive out 441, we know where Zellwood Station is. It's on the right after you start to leave town. There's also an entrance from Zellwood Station onto Leicester. Onto Yothers Road. Onto Yothers Road. So the development that's not in the city asked if they could connect to Yothers Road. So my first thought is, why would we let them do that and put additional trips on Yothers Road unless we're collecting transportation impact fees for their whole development? That crossed my mind. I thought I'd bring that to DRC and just let y'all know that crossed my mind. Also, I think that I would need them to get probably we need to bring it back to DRC, I would think, because they're going to have to configure turn lanes. And if they don't have to annex, and if they don't have to pay the impact fees, then I think they'll move forward. So maybe let's full stop there. Do we think they would have to pay impact fees, Bobby? Do you happen to know?
I don't think they're even in the JPA where we could even annex them. I would have to have the exact location of the development. Do you know the address or anything?
It's the big giant part, that whole golf course area. I mean,
Right, Zellwood Station, yeah, but
Yeah.
you're saying Zellwood Station's wanting to connect to the others?
Yes, I think like the HOA president or something. What I can do, if you don't mind, is I can email you his contact information, and maybe the two of y'all can figure out.
I can tell you right now that the answer is no, because it's not in the JPA. So they couldn't annex or anything. We couldn't enter because we have the JPA with Orange County. So anything that's outside the JPA line is not eligible for annexation.
Okay, well then I don't see how we could charge them transportation impact fees if they're not in the city.
Probably should work through the county on everything.
But then they're putting more trips on our road, so I guess DRC wants me to bring back turn lanes or whatever it is. I come to the agreement with their traffic engineer, stop sign maybe. I don't know, whatever they're needing.
If you want to reach out to them, you can. Yeah.
But there's no reason why we should just flat deny them. Just say nope. There's a gate there, and it's there for a reason, and
It's
you can't.
definitely not eligible to be annexed in the city. It would be a violation of the JPA. There had been an inquiry about this little piece here where the 3 lots are and the treed area.
Yeah.
A while back, it's not eligible at all. So
Oh,
we would be in
wow.
violation of the JPA.
Huh.
Annexing it.
Okay, well, maybe we need some sort of agreement with them. It does seem like we're going to want to get money if they're going to start wearing out Yallers Road right there, right after we rebuilt it. But I'll work with that on them, and then I'll bring it back to DRC, and I imagine there'll be at least turn lanes and probably some flashing lights in the interim, at least, until they can figure out how much traffic is going to use it. I don't think they really know right now.
Yeah.
They said everybody leaves the subdivision, takes a left on 441, then a left on Yallers Road, then goes into the shopping or whatever in the city. But I don't know. Well, it would take it off 441. Yeah. 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 Okay. That's all I had.
Anything else? We're adjourned.